A very good morning to all the respected delegates and the early birdies, the audience here. I'm Dr. Ritu Singh from King George's Medical University of Lucknow, and I'm here to present my free paper on the topic Trojan horse anesthesia, a novel method of anesthesia for pars plana vitrectomy. Well, I do not have any conflicts of interest to disclose, and the aim of the study was to evaluate the patient comfort and surgical safety using lignocaine jelly augmented with intracameral lignocaine solution for anesthetizing the eyes undergoing PPV. Topical anesthesia, as we all know, has been in use for anterior segment
Madam,
surgery.
louder, please, madam.
Topical anesthesia has been in use for anterior segment surgeries routinely with acceptable patient comfort and surgical safety. But later onset, we have tried to use the same anesthesia for the posterior segment surgeries as well. And pars plana vitrectomy is one of those surgeries being done under topical anesthesia since the advent of 23 and 25 gauge vitrectomy systems. Now, why do we need to improve and explore other modalities to alleviate pain? Because despite the topical anesthesia that we are using, there are various studies that have shown that sclerostomy, scleral indentation, and endolaser are a few steps where the patient have been demonstrated to still complain of moderate to severe pain. And the surgeries so far give us two main ideas that anterior segment surgeries done using lignocaine jelly are more beneficial when compared to drop, and topical anesthesia supplemented with intracameral lignocaine are more beneficial in anterior segment surgeries. These studies are quoted here. So this is what we used in our Trojan horse anesthesia. Well, Trojan horse is actually a tale that everybody knows is from the Greek mythology, and it was used by the Greeks to enter the city and win the war. It is, in a nutshell, an expression that we can easily, it's a tool that we can easily enter a closed perimeter and then used to gain any unobstructed access by disarming the guarding elements. So this is what we do. We first instill the lignocaine jelly and the eye is topically anesthetized. Therefore, when we enter intracamerally, there is nearly painless delivery of anesthesia when compared to retrobulbar or peribulbar. The pain-sensitive uveal tissue is directly anesthetized because we instill it in the anterior chamber. And since the ciliary ganglion is spared, we preserve the eyelid and eye movements, and there is therefore no need to patch the eye out post-surgery. My study was a prospective interventional tertiary care center based study, and it was conducted after we received the green flag from the Institutional Ethical Committee, and the study adhered to the tenets of the Declaration of Helsinki. The sample size was 107 patients. There were a total of 114 which were recruited, but only 107 could pass the inclusion criteria. That was patients who were indicated of PPV other than retinal detachment. The table on the right shows the enlisted patients. The exclusion criteria the exclusion criteria included pregnant or nursing women, any patient who was uncooperative and could not abide by the verbal commands, allergy to the components of the medicine, any concomitant use of topical or systemic NSAID, prostaglandins, or parasympathomimetics, the maximum pupillary dilatation being at least 6 millimeters, and we omitted people who had any pupillary deformity or retinal detachment as their cause. The surgical technique included first, a lignocaine jelly was instilled 5 to 10 minutes prior to the surgery and reinstilled after draping. Following adequate topical anesthesia, we entered the chamber by a 1.8 millimeter sized keratome, and intracameral irrigation solution was injected, which was nothing but 1 milliliter of 2% preservative free lignocaine mixed in 1 ml of balanced salt solution. Following which, a normal 3-port PPV was done using 23 gauge system. And lastly, we inspected for sclerostomy ports for proper sealing. If not, we even sutured if Vicryl 80 was required. In our surgery, the gender distribution was such that there were at least 62% of the patients were majorly males, and the mean age was 42. The intraoperative time ranged from 13 minutes to 80 minutes with a average of with an average of 40 minutes. The grading of the pain was done on a 10 centimeters visual analog scale, and 87% of the patients opted for topical anesthesia to be used again. The box whisker plot on the right hand side shows the same. And there was a weak positive correlation with age and the duration of surgery. That was 0.28 for the age and 0.26 for duration of surgery. The image on the left hand side shows a histogram for the pain analog scale, which was on the 10 centimeter visual analog scale, and majority of the patients complained of a pain scale ranging from 3 to 5. And those patients who rejected for a repeat surgery under topical anesthesia were majorly under the class of greater than 5 scale. So that means most of the patients who opted for topical anesthesia, that means 87% of the patients, were those who had rated 3 in their VAS score. Also, the pain experience was unaffected by education status, gender, or any additional procedures such as intraocular implantation or silicone oil installation. To conclude, Trojan horse anesthesia is a very beneficial and gives adequate analgesia for comfortable and safe 23 gauge PPV. And the pain experience is not affected by any of those parameters. So we can go ahead with it and perform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ritu. You can stop sharing your screen now. We have time for 2 questions.
Yeah, can I ask question?
Yeah, sure.
How you ensure asepsis when you use the jelly during surgery?
Sir, pardon, sir, your voice cracked between.
No, how you ensure asepsis, pre-operative antibiotic or iopre?
Asepsis.
Huh? So
ensuring.
you put
Sir, I'm very sorry.
Asepsis.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you put,
sir,
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So just like any other intraocular surgery, we start a 4th generation fluoroquinolone, that is moxifloxacin 0.5% QID in all our patients 2 days prior to the surgery, sir. They are seen in the OPD, and this was
on table.
Sir, on table, sir. Sir, povidone iodine of 5% was instilled in the conjunctival cul-de-sac, and it was twice injected. It's a routine procedure.
Before lignocaine, after lignocaine jelly?
So this was before the lignocaine, and we instilled lignocaine twice, sir. So one was on the just before the OT procedure. We instilled betadine. We instilled lignocaine following it. Once the patient was shifted to the OT and we were supposed to drape it, we again instilled povidone iodine for 3 minutes, sir. So this is.
No, you pour over the jelly or before jelly?
So it was over the jelly only, sir.
Over the jelly.
We wiped it off. I mean, it was just before, but we did not wipe it off.
Dr. Parizat is smiling now. What he got my question. Okay. And another question is, where you are not had a combined surgery, just only posterior segment approach, why you need to inject lignocaine in an anterior chamber? I can understand combined surgery if you are doing anterior segment approach, nucleus removal, IOL removal. Why you use a lignocaine intracameral?
So basically, it has been seen that even if we performed just by applying topical lignocaine jelly, when we perform vitrectomy, the disturbances inside tend to generate pain because the pain sensitive structures are anyway disturbed. And using this technique of Trojan horse, it has been seen that patients are very well comfortable, and we can, it was a good surgeon experience following this, even if it was a plain PPV surgery.